two travel agents with an ocean-sized obsession for small ship cruising.
Get ready as we inspire you to sail beyond the brochure.
It's the ship less traveled.
It's that time again. Hopefully, your favorite time of the week. It's another episode of the Ship Less Traveled. And this week's episode, I'm going to tell you folks, it's intense. We're talking about intensive voyages.
Oh, Dave, you always bring in something at the beginning. It's
I'm a
definitely going to be
wordsmith, a
intense.
baird. I'm the before Shakespeare. I could be today's Shakespeare.
I'm Lorraine McCowart, and we're bringing to you the ship less travelled.
Absolutely. Now, Lorraine, intensive voyage. When I say those words, what comes to mind?
Yeah, it's kind of one of the intensive voyage. I mean, what does that mean? So we're going to talk to you about what that means today. Basically, an intensive voyage is a cruise around a country intensively. So you'll only stop at ports in that country, or you may sway off a bit depending on the itinerary. It's about longer days in port, it's about overnight stays, it's about getting more time in your destination. So rather than choosing a hotel in one resort, choose a hotel that goes around the country.
Absolutely.
See more. That's what it's about.
So we're talking about a boutique hotel experience, but you're floating so you can move from place to place at night and have more time in the ports intensively. This sounds really good to me. And I've heard that some of these even have overnights, so you're in port overnight as well. So more time to take in the destination intensively. I think a lot of travelers want that.
Absolutely. In places like Florence, there's an overnight in Florence. In places like Istanbul, you know, huge tourist places where you really want to make the most of your time there. The ship will dock overnight, so you can go out and explore the destination by day, and then by night it's a totally different vibe. You want to explore that place by night, so go off into the town and explore, and your ship will be waiting for you on your return, and then you'll wake up the next morning and continue on again.
I
Go
love
out and
that.
explore.
So you don't have to sacrifice any nighttime activities. If you want to go to the opera, if you want to see a concert, a restaurant, you can still do that. And great news, your hotel at sea is still waiting for you. She hasn't set sail. No one wants to experience that.
It is. And the great thing is you only have to unpack once. So you're exploring a country here and you're not, waiting for a tour bus every day to take you across country, across bumpy roads. And, you turn up at your hotel in the evening with a numb bum from sitting down on the coach all day. You are traveling in luxury and comfort here from one destination to the next.
Whenever someone inquires with me about an intensive voyage, I always like to tell them about how inclusive it is as well. So not only is it inclusive of the destination experiences, but just life on board. We're talking about your drinks on board, your gratuities on board. Of course, the excursions are a la carte. People can pick different things, whether you want to hike or go do something cultural. But just so many things. So to your point, you're going to unpack once and you're going to be fully taken care of the entire time. So you can focus intensively and get in under the skin of the destination that you're visiting.
A couple of years ago, my husband and I did an intensive around Croatia and the Dalmatian Islands, and it was amazing. Not only do you see the highlight of Dubrovnik and Kotor, Montenegro, it takes you to all these ports that you wouldn't necessarily just explore on your own, and some of them are huge tourist ports and some of the boutique exclusive ports. And that's the great thing about these intensive cruises, because the ships are smaller, they can dock where the larger ships can't. I know that you would love to do an intensive cruise, Dave, and I know you've been to Japan, where one of these intensive cruises does go. So let's talk a bit about that.
I loved my time in Japan, and I would absolutely, I'm so thrilled that I had the opportunity to go to Japan. But when I look at this intensive to Japan, I think, wow, this would be a great way to go to Japan if you hadn't been before, because I'm going to have to go back to Japan to experience it this way. I think it's the advantages of doing an intensive cruise around Japan. First, let's talk about the time of year. It's April. What's the first thing that we think about with springtime in Japan? Cherry
Awesome.
blossoms, right? So you're going to get to see the exquisite cherry blossom, and nobody really knows where cherry blossoms are happening, right? Because as Japan heats up, the cherry blossom wave moves across Japan. This cruise takes you around Japan, which brings me into my second point. Japan's an island. And so, what a great way to get around and see all of the parts of Japan. It's not just about going to Tokyo. I
Oh,
will point out
exactly.
yeah, I was just going to say I would point out that this is a itinerary that starts in Kobe, so not too far from Osaka, and it goes around Japan and comes back to Tokyo. And Tokyo is a great city. I think to get the full experience, you might want to stay a couple extra days, and I know there's pre and post packages. But for the main part of getting around Japan, this 14-day itinerary just does such a great way of covering everything. I love it. But I would say to a person to think about a couple of days at the beginning in the Osaka area. This itinerary does not get to Kyoto, which you would need to visit by bullet train. It's only about 30-40 minutes from Osaka. So you can easily do Kyoto at the beginning, which has a lot of Japan's classic sites. It was a capital of Japan in the day. Get down to Kobe, zip around to Tokyo, and then spend a few days in Tokyo, where, I mean, you're just spoiled for choices for great accommodation. And Mount Fuji's right there. On a clear day, you can see it.
Oh.
And I think a trip to Japan has to include Mount Fuji.
And you've been to Kanazawa, is that right?
Yeah, Kanazawa. I loved Kanazawa because I really love gardens, and there's some beautiful Japanese gardens there. They're so peaceful, and I loved seeing the bonsai. And Kanazawa also has a heritage for gold production and artistry, things made with gold. And so I liked watching the makers do their crafting with gold. And I was even able to have an ice cream that was foiled in gold leaf. And it cost me like $20. It was one of the most expensive
Wow.
snacks. Yeah, it was like 2,000 yen. But I thought, I'm in Japan. I've got to have a moment of me eating a golden ice cream. And it's great. I loved it. So,
You've got to
yeah.
do everything at least once.
Exactly. If you get a chance to eat a gold leafed ice cream, you just simply must do it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if you were ever to go to Japan, what would you hope to see over there?
Oh, just the culture, the way they live is just so different from the way we live. And I think everything's so clean and just so different. And if I was to do Japan, it would definitely be on an intensive cruise because I know that it would take me to every highlight that I would want to see in Japan in one holiday, in one hotel, stroke ship. Um, and as we've said before, you come back at the end of a long day touring, and there is your luxury boutique ship waiting for you with dinner, your evening entertainment, whatever you want to do, it's there waiting for you.
And to travel as far as Japan, whether you're going there from Canada or whether you're going there from the UK, it's a
Long
big
trip.
trip and you want to do it comfortably.
We've talked about Japan and Croatia. My husband and I are also doing an Italy intensive in October, which I'm so excited about because Italy is my number one country. So I would happily do it a million times. But they also do Iceland, they do Ireland, they do Greek intensive. There are so many countries they do intensively, and you need to ask us about these.
I think the perfect way for somebody to get a conversation started is to get in touch with us and simply say, I am interested in this part of the world, or this country is speaking to me. And if you have an idea of what you'd like to start with, we can certainly help by showing you some itineraries and talking to you about further details, including when to go, when to book, all of those sorts of things. So if that applies to you and you need a travel agent and you're in North America, I would love to hear from you. My name is Dave Wentworth, and you can reach out to me via my website, destinationwhatever.com, where you'll find all my contact info and a little bit about me. And you can find me on social media. The agency's at Destination Whatever Travel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm Lorraine McCowart from Berkshire in England, and you'll find me at bespokecruiseholidays.com/luxury cruise holidays. I'm on Facebook, I'm over social media, and I'm always here with you and Dave.
So until the next time we get to talk to you about something exciting, take care, everybody. Bye for
Take
now.
care. Bye.
Curious about small ship cruising and ready to start planning? We're here to help plan your next voyage, whether you're a first-timer or a seasoned sailor.
If you're in the UK, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at bespokecruiseholidays.com or visit my agency's Facebook page. Let's plan something unforgettable.
I'm in Canada and cover North America. Visit my website, destinationwhatever.com, or connect with my agency on Facebook. Let's get you on board. Literally.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Click on those like and subscribe buttons and please share us with your cruise-loving friends. Support our channel and let's keep this ship sailing.
Thanks for coming on board. Until next time, this has been The Ship Less Traveled, where small ships lead to big adventures.